Sir, this is NYPD. We need you to identify a body as their immediate family. My uncle died suddenly from a heart attack that no one saw coming. His wife had died a few years before, and their daughter had moved across the country for school. That made me the next closest family member to start the process for funeral arrangements, etc. Thankfully, his daughter Janet and I have always been pretty close, so she trusted having me go through things in her place. The person she was worried about was our Aunt Pauline. Think of a classic money-hungry villain, and you have a good idea of what Pauline is like. Because of Pauline, Janet asked me for a weird favor. Would you be willing to stay at my dad's apartment for a while? It made sense logically. Protect the apartment from theft. However, my phobia of haunted places was not logical, and already had me itching at just the thought of staying overnight. I almost choked on my coffee. You want me to what? It won't be for long. I'm finishing up my finals now and will be catching a flight home as soon as possible. I know Pauline, and I know she's going to be awful and try to snatch my dad's coin collection, or my mom's jewelry, and I'm not losing any part of them. I just can't. Her voice broke at the end, and I thought I heard her cough down a sob. It didn't hit me until then that my little cousin was now an orphan at just 20 years old. I felt awful for even thinking about saying no, and instead told her that I would be happy to do so. We stayed on the phone for a while after that, because it was clear that she just needed someone to talk to. After hanging up, I immediately packed a bag and headed out. I already had my uncle's apartment keys from going to the morgue to identify his body. When I step inside, it feels like I'm spying on the life my uncle lived. There was still a mug of coffee that had gone cold on the kitchen table. His grocery list was on a post-it note stuck to the fridge, and a basket of clean clothes was tossed on the bed, with the expectation of being folded after he returned from work. It all felt weird and creepy, but I wasn't going to let Janet down. I bring in a bunch of boxes and start packing. In just a couple of hours, it's getting late, and I decide to go to bed. I go to the bathroom, and I see water around the base of the tub. That's weird. If my uncle took a shower this morning, then the floor should be dry by now. I tried to see if anything was leaking, but found nothing. Something in my gut told me things weren't adding up, but I forced myself to ignore it, brushed my teeth, and went to sleep on the couch. The next morning, I woke up to the sink faucet dripping. What? There's no way I left it like that. And not only was the faucet dripping, but there was also more water on the floor. I hadn't taken a shower last night. I try to laugh it off and get ready for work. I even called for the apartment building's maintenance to check on any leaks. I get a passive-aggressive message from maintenance telling me that there are no leaks, and goes on to explain how bath mats work. They even include a picture of them whipping up the water for me. But when I get back to the apartment, I find my razor on the edge of the sink, and again, more water on the floor. I end up taking a walk outside to clear my head. I tell myself that I'm stressed from the extra work put on me, and that I was imagining things. There's no way my uncle was haunting his old apartment, right? I go back, get more packing done, and then get ready for bed. I should take a shower, but I can't bring myself to. It still just didn't seem right. I have dreams that night of the body I had to identify as my uncle, slumped in the shower. The body lunges forward at me and scares me awake. I'm struggling to catch my breath while lying on the couch, still hearing the shower running in my head. Then I realized the sound wasn't in my head. I turned to the bathroom door and saw a light coming from underneath. I then hear something hit the floor behind me. I jump up and spin around. Pauline? My infamous aunt looks back at me in surprise. I flick on the light switch nearby and catch her holding a small jewelry box that had tipped open, dropping a large necklace. I immediately dig into her about how messed up it was to steal from her niece, but before Pauline could smugly defend herself, her eyes looked past me and bulged in horror. She screamed, dropped the jewelry box, and ran out the door. I then turned to where she looked and found a naked man holding one of my uncle's lamps over his head. I yell and reach for the pocket knife in my backpack, but the man drops the lamp and holds up his hands. Wait, Richard is dead? I still grab my knife but ask him, you knew my uncle? Yes, I'm Dylan, his neighbor. He's been letting me use his shower since maintenance hasn't fixed the one in mine yet. I get off work late and I saw you on the couch, so I was trying to be quiet until it sounded like you were fighting a burglar or something. By the end of the week, Janet came to start going through her dad's stuff. Pauline was apparently traumatized and refuses to talk about the incident, and I've made it very clear to Dylan that he should probably wear pants when confronting potential robbers.